What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Meet the Critters. This is episode 32. And I decided to, I can't say that word, first 30 seconds. Cut the crap. I cut the crap and just named this episode what it is. This is going to be a butcher therapy session. We're not doing the round table thing anymore where I'll speak our mind. It's no. We're just going to get right into it and talk about it. So to join us for that, we have fan favorites, returning guests, Joel Blakeslee and Tiffany Baxter. Yeah. I need audio sounds now. We
need like the cheers and stuff.
Exactly. But I just steal it from like the Jerry Springer show, so it's just the Jerry sound, and it's like, why? Why they? What's going on, guys?
Busy.
First, Joe.
Yeah.
Let me get comfortable.
I know. I'm only laughing because I know that sound. I still make it, but it's like, especially at the beginning of the shop, just that.
Yeah. A lot's happened in the last few weeks. Like, I've been freaking non-existent on like everything. I haven't put out a video in like, I don't know, probably it's been over a month.
Yeah.
So,
no, it's tough.
No, we just
opened a business.
Yeah. Well, I was hammering on getting the shop open, and then we finally got power like 2 days before we opened. So I had no time to test any of my equipment with actual power. So it was just like full balls to the wall, shit breaking down and making everything work and run all together. And then, of course, we open at the busiest time of the year,
right?
On opening day of Rifle. So, yeah.
That's almost the best way to do it, though, because it's like you have that honeymoon grace period of like, I'm new, so if something happens, I'm new. You get to pull the old Joe Dirt and just, I'm new, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Luckily, I've been able to pull it off so far to where I haven't had any, hey, I'm sorry about that type situations yet.
Yeah. Give it time.
Yeah.
How did this year go?
She's following it.
Yeah. I took in 6 more this afternoon between 2 and 6:30.
Nice.
They're all skinned out and in the cooler. So
beautiful.
Yep.
Tiffany.
How far back we going? Like today, this week, last week, week before that? Are you kidding? Let me just give you some bullet points. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's hit the bullet points first. We'll
knock it out as we go. That's the first thing. I ended up in the hospital for 3 days with an infection. Okay, so that was cool. It was a good time, except for the hospital tried to kill me. Let's see. I've got neighbor drama. That was just today. I did a pig with a hernia. Had a hernia,
or the pig had a hernia?
Pig had a hernia. Butchered a hernia pig.
Those both suck, but let's.
Yeah.
Yeah, butchered a pig with pneumonia and some other kind of secondary infection. Had that happen. Bandsaw broke, and the generator broke, and lots of stuff is broken. The whole plumbing in my house has to be redone.
Oh.
It's broken. The AC in the house is broken. It's fine. Everything's fine. And what else? Let's see. On Monday, the first, that was my first day back, right, from the hospital. And I had a pig drop. It was our last pig of the day, and it was like I shot it 20 foot from a pond. It rolled into the pond. The guy goes to get the pig. I talked to you
that day. That one was nuts.
And then the pig ends up in the pond. Guy gets the tractor stuck. I had to pull him and the tractor out, and I had to get into the freezing cold pond and string up the pig. What else? Yeah, I mean, so much that I don't even remember it anymore at this point. It's all just a blur. Someone said I need a stiff drink. Well, if I had time to, because now it's like I have to work every single day to just catch up rescheduling appointments because every appointment's basically a full day. So I'm not off work till next Friday.
That's fun.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. Both of you, and me included in this, with everything we have going on, the ups and downs, the insanity, would you rather work in an office?
No.
Not
Nope.
even a little bit.
No.
That's why we're crazy people. Like, that's why, like, I was talking to someone the other day just about coming up in butchering and like where we are now with it. And I said it was like, we're the forgotten trade. Like, everyone knows tradesmen, but we're cut out of that for some odd reason. Nobody thinks about it because it's not a big thing in our world anymore.
Yeah.
You don't go down to the butcher at the end of the street that has a whole cow hanging and it's like, hey, I have this much chuck today because this is the only cow that got brought in, kind of thing. Like, it's completely out of sight, out of mind. Whereas it's like, everyone knows what a contractor does. Everyone knows what a plumber does, to the point now where it's, you can, like, I think about it somewhat now in TikTok relation, where it's like, you can make a simple contracting or electrical joke and people who aren't contractors or electricians can get that joke. Where I know for sure there are people that watch some of my TikToks where it's, I put that mindset into them. They click on it because it's kind of funny, but they don't fully grasp what I'm talking about. Our lives are so crazy and it encompasses so much random shit that it's insane. I don't know how else to put it.
Kyle, I appreciate your TikTok jokes.
Thank you. Well, that's the thing. I know someone does. Like, I don't need all of TikTok to like them, but I need everyone who's shot a pig in the head to understand it and like be bent over laughing because they think nobody else understands that. They think nobody else has seen that happen or understands that reference.
No. I had a TikTok blow up from the ER room.
I saw that.
You know, you always, like, the ones you think will go viral that you want to go viral, like, don't. Yeah. And then the one that you post that you're like, I'm going to post this because I feel like it needs to be posted, but also not the one I really want to go viral. It's got like 680,000 views.
The other ones I do are the ones that it's like, I guess I'll toss this up because I need my numbers for the day. Like, yeah, because I'm like, I know at this point I need to post like 2 to 3 to possibly 4 videos a day.
If you can, I can barely get one out.
So it's, if I'm just scrolling through and I see something that my just weird butcher autism hits on, of just like, hey, I have a reference for that. It's completely obscure. And again, 5 people are going to know what this means. All of a sudden, like 3,500 to 10,000 views later. And I'm like, no, you guys completely swiped past the one that took me an hour to edit.
Yeah.
Ungodly amount of time to film, slowed me down with everything. And you blew past that one. That one's sitting at 300 views. But this weird reference with a template is at 15,000. Like,
yeah. Hey, I'm still mad about my Khaleesi video. Okay. It deserved to go viral.
It's almost funnier that it didn't take. Like, on the out, like, I feel bad that you had to chew on that beef heart. But it's almost funnier on the outside and being your friends that it's like, you got dressed with makeup and then had to munch on a actual beef heart and you got like 300 views on it. And that is so funny to me. And I love you. I love you so much, but
it was fun and worth it anyway. I had a great time. So like, it's fine. I'm not mad about it. It's going to get its day. It still could happen. Okay. I'm going to repost it. You just give me a minute. I'm going to try to Keith Lee some shit this week. So another bullet point I missed, I told you I'm forgetting them because they're so abundant. At this point, everything's just on fire and I'm like the dog drinking the coffee. Like, this is fine. So a company has arrived or come to my attention.
Oh, that's right. You talked about this on the last episode.
Yeah, backyard butchers. Yeah, well, it's come there's more. So these guys people have been calling me because they're angry. It turns out this company is like for the people that didn't hear before, it's a like butcher box type subscription service.
Is it a scam?
Company.
Like it feels like a scam.
100%. Yeah. They go into like parking lots, like Tractor Supply parking lot with their big sign that says 20 ribeyes for $39.99. But on the side of the box, it's 15% filler. It's tenderized. It's about a 1/4 inch thick, you know, and I can't recognize it as a ribeye. I think it's glued.
Yeah.
I think it's like, yeah, it's definitely not ribeye. So they've got a D rating with the Better Business Bureau, and there's like Facebook groups for like reviews because it says like Backyard Butchers Real Reviews. That's a group on Facebook. So people hate these people. Okay. Like if you just search YouTube, they've been shut down for operating without a license in these parking lots selling meat. Right. And this is the company with the same name almost.
Same name and almost logo. Their logo is aggressively close to yours.
Here's the thing. Whenever I did my website and I bought my LLC, I had a marketing company do the website and the logo. Not just them, but like I also did my market research. They did not exist. The domain name was taken, but we didn't think anything of it because it wasn't being used. So it's possible that we were building at the same time. But their website hasn't come up until just recently.
Right.
But yeah, so I talked to the owner yesterday because I made a TikTok video. I chose violence, and
how many views did that get?
Not enough, but it got the owner's attention because I had a phone call by 11 a.m. the next day.
Good.
Yeah.
I am definitely going to start calling myself a seasoned butcher, though. I got mad the second I heard that. Joe, did you see the video she put up?
No, I don't. I don't have the TikTok.
Oh, I didn't know if your wife saw it or not.
No, even if she sent it to me for some reason. If I used to be able to watch TikToks if people send them to me, but I can't anymore. It won't let me access them.
Yeah, I think
they physically have to show them to me on their phone.
Yeah. Well, there's a guy, and he's literally like, "Hi, I'm a seasoned butcher," and he's like holding a box, like one of these boxes, and she just did like a clip compilation of him just going, "I'm a seasoned butcher. I'm a seasoned butcher. Hi, I'm a seasoned butcher," and I'm like, the first time he said it, I was just like, I'm going to come through this phone. This isn't even directly to you. I'm coming through this phone at you, sir.
They don't actually butcher anything. And on their TikTok, their TikTok with 190 followers. They are grinding the steak on a KitchenAid mixer grinder.
Seasoned. He's such a pro that he can do it with a KitchenAid grinder as fast as we can. He's like,
screw it. Listen, we're doing commercial beef. We're selling commercial beef. Nah.
Yeah.
KitchenAid.
Yeah.
So I do need to pause for a moment and come back to this. And it says, P.S. Kyle, you saw our cut sheets and never noticed that they said cum stummers.
Yeah. Yep.
One, that is so funny, and I love every second of it. And two, did you think I was going to read? I just skimmed it, and I'm like, yeah, that all looks good. There's no way I would have picked out.
So did I. I didn't even look at like all the, because usually she does the proofreading. I didn't even look at that. I'm like, yep, everything that I need to read on it is there, and we're good.
And I'm not going to lie. If I saw that, I probably wouldn't have told you either.
I would have let that sit.
I would have absolutely let that sit.
Wait, this was a real typo?
Yeah, it was a real typo.
I thought it was on purpose.
No, it was like nobody caught it that seen the cut sheet beforehand. So it's all fixed and good now. But
that is so great.
I love that so much for you. I've got to redo mine. I need to update mine for sure.
Well, Canadian Farmstead downstairs here says, I am an unseasoned butcher. Canadian Farmstead, you kicked butt on those pigs. You kept us updated with pictures the whole time, and you did an absolute great job, for sure. So you are not unseasoned. Now you're seasoned. But it's like, We're not talking turmeric at this point. We're talking like
Only-
table salt, but table salt is a
Right.
seasoning. You've entered the spice cabinet.
Only if you're using the KitchenAid mixer grinder.
Yeah, like, did you use a
Right.
KitchenAid mixer to grind that sausage? If you had any
Bro.
professional tools.
Yeah,
like a
and
slacker.
it gets like, and that's the thing is the whole thing with that company is frustrating because my phone is blowing up and like,
That's
you know,
crazy.
people are. It would be okay if they weren't angry, and it would be okay. It would be less frustrating that they have like my similar name and logo if they had like a quality product and weren't using this crazy marketing like with
Right.
this Buddy Brown guy who's
Mhm.
super political. Like, and I'm not saying I don't agree with some of the stuff he's saying, but he
Well,
does
I'm
have
surprised
like
that Buddy Brown's in on something that's so scammy like that, honestly.
well, I bet you they like know someone knows someone there for sure. Like, because is he really eating it? Because I saw videos of real unpackaging of the steaks. And I'm like, yeah, I was surprised by that too. I thought, well, so he's not eating it, clearly.
Yeah.
He probably has
No.
never even tried it. So
No.
I'm gonna like Keith Lee this shit. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have someone, not myself now at this point, now that I've talked to the owner and the like customer service manager, I'm gonna have someone order me a box and I'm gonna unbox it and I'm gonna because here's the thing. So the owner said he wanted to keep things positive, and I'm like, well, so far I don't have
We're really in the negative.
positive. But you know what? I've never seen his product. So I have seen their little like box trucks set up at a couple places here locally. And it's holiday season. So usually this is the time of year you see them.
Right.
So not that I go shopping a lot. So I doubt that I'm going to run into one of those, but I can have somebody order me some.
Pull in there with the kill rig and buy their box of meat.
Right. Dude, there's a mobile rig in Texas I've been waiting to close so I can go buy their equipment.
Please hurry up and die out.
Please hurry up and just have your lifelong dream die.
I'm like, yeah, just go ahead and fail. Well, that's how I feel about backyard butchers. Like, I had this conversation with my friend, and we're like, well, they really got a bad reputation. And the thing is they've had like they actually had an F with the Better Business Bureau. So a D is a step up, but the Better Business Bureau is really good about updating it. And just in October this year, they basically came out and said like nothing has changed. So at some point you have to wonder if that's going to resolve itself as well. You know, I don't really want to have to go down yet another legal route. I've already got so many of those roads paved out elsewhere. I hate to like start another one. So I would like to keep it kosher. He said he was going to put his phone number on the website. I don't believe him, but I'm going to hold him to it for sure.
Well, I also don't want to victim blame on this, but the idiots who go to that website, see there's no information, and then click back out, because I'm assuming you're the next one underneath it, right? Like if you go on Google, like it's him, then you.
I think it might be the other way around.
So it's you first? Okay.
I'm not sure.
So,
I haven't
but
pulled it like that.
even still, like your website's legit, and it's like, yeah, I come to your house and kill your animals and then cut them up and then give them back to you. If you have a box of steakums in front of you and you're like, I'm pissed and I need to talk to someone about it.
Yeah.
And you go to your website and go, yep,
there's no number on the other website. I'm going to call this one.
You. Like, those are just stupid people. Like,
yeah. I mean, I agree, but I think those people are angry, you know,
I'm
and
sure.
they're just like desperately. And I've even had people write my business name as Backyard Butcher, you know, like on checks, like they miss the Y at the end. There are plenty of people that
for sure.
You know what I mean? So it's easy where I could see where the confusion, people just don't pay attention on the website or whatever.
But I also guarantee they're the calls you're getting are 1 out of 10. There are 9 other people that go, oh, silly me, this isn't the right website, and go to the right one.
Yeah. I don't think people are confusing me for him, you know, or for their company. I think
the contact information, though.
Yeah, because my contact stuff's everywhere. I'm like, I try to make it as easy as possible. You can contact me. Actually, it's annoying because it's too many places for me to check. I'm like, crap, I've got 3 Instagrams I have to check, and like 2 Facebooks and 2 TikToks and 2 emails, and my text messages on this cell number and my text messages on that cell number, which don't get me, it's a long story on the cell phone, but it is a lot of places to check, but it gives people about 1,000 options,
Wait, do you
to
have
find
short
me.
stories?
Huh?
Do you have short stories?
Short stories.
You said that's a long story. So I'm asking, do you have short stories? I couldn't let that one go. I couldn't.
That's fair. That's fair.
Oh my God.
It's so fair.
Oh.
Nobody understands my butcher problems.
Oh,
Okay, except
we
for
get
you
it.
two.
That's insane.
It is insane.
I get the opposite because I don't get them as much anymore. But when we first started, I got a lot of calls for vehicle damage because the name of my shop is The Body Shop. So I would get it wouldn't happen as much as what you're doing, as like what's happening with you, but I'd get 2 or 3 calls a month, and it's like, yeah, I got a Honda Civic and I got rear-ended. I'm like, that sounds awful. Do you have a cow that needs to be killed?
I can do nothing for you.
Because if you don't, I can't.
Did it happen when you hit a cow?
Yeah. Did you happen to hit a cow and or moose?
Is that what
to
happened?
cause this body damage? Because if you did, you're in luck.
Bring it on.
Because you call the guy that can cut up that moose. But I would also tell you, who you're calling is not in the right order. You should probably call the police or possibly someone else before you called me.
I have to do that probably tonight or tomorrow morning. So my neighbor interrupted my poultry processing class today by yelling over my other neighbor's fence line. Because remember, he doesn't live next door to me. Oh. So he came over and started harassing my class in front of me. That was super fun. I'm hoping the sheriffs will finally give me like a restraining order. I keep asking for it, but nice.
I just gave you a compliment, Canadian Farmstead. I don't really appreciate that. So there you go. Audio, you have no idea what we're talking about, but it is what it is. But yeah, no. So we're over here. I was supposed to be done with deer. I was supposed to be like, cool, we're back on livestock. Started going through my schedule, getting ready. Like, cool, we're getting back into it. It's been a couple weeks. I'm getting like a little itchy. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's get back to it. And I'm going through looking at the customer I have up. I'm like, sweet, I have 11 pigs the next 2 weeks, same customer. And I go through, pull up their number in my phone. And I forgot while I was in Tennessee that they had texted me and said, hey, we ended up going a different direction and selling all the pigs. Like, so we don't need your appointments. And again, me in the middle of like the festival, and I think like I had just gotten finished with a demonstration or something. I was just like, yep, no worries, completely understand. And then didn't think about it because I responded. So I didn't think about it again until it was too late to put in other people. So I'm like, all right, so here we go. But we're back at it. I've got 5 lambs hanging in the cooler. But even those, my customer, he's actually my elementary school gym teacher. He's now my customer. I process all his animals. He was getting some sheep sheared, and the person that was doing it also did like mobile slaughter, and they bartered for some of that. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Trust them. These were I don't think I've ever slaughtered a sheep as beautiful as these things came out. I was like, Jesus, all right. I need to get better at what I'm doing, I guess. But we also have 2 deer coming in tomorrow. So we're just going to haul out for the next couple of weeks and get through Christmas. And then starts all over again.
Yep. There's a button on your phone. It's called Mark as Unread. Yeah. I do that on my emails. So, because a lot of times I'm like, okay, don't open it because you're not near your schedule book or whatever. But then I'm like, okay, I got to know what it says though, right?
Wait, I have another question. You actually read your emails? Yeah. I think I have 3,000 emails right now. I skim through and I go, Nope, don't care. Okay, cool. Nothing I need to do urgently, but
people legit make appointments through email, and then on my website I have a submission form.
right.
So those go to my email. So I actually do make a lot of appointments via email.
Well, no, you're an adult. Like, I get it. Like, that's the right thing to do. I should be taking appointments through email, not over text.
Nice. I mean, I do text too. I do lots of text message. It's lots of social media. I actually probably do more appointments that way than I do over the phone. And a lot of times I'll take a phone call and I'm like, I just tell them to text me because I'm working or whatever.
Right.
You know, I got my hands dirty. I'm not going to go stop gutting something to go find my book and take off my glove. Nah, just text me.
It's not worth it.
Just text me. It's easier. Plus, then it's nice to have a record of like what me and my client talked about, you know, in case they had some weird direction.
Oh, for sure. I've had a couple customers where I'm like, don't call me, text me, because I'm like, I need to screenshot everything you say for the next hour and a half. So
exactly. But I've been there, done that. I'm just it's a little easier for you because you're not mobile. I'm kind of jealous.
Right. And it's one of those things this time of year is always hard. Like it's hard to fill this time of year a couple months out for me because we're getting into the holiday season. Money's tight for everyone. And people don't want to carry animals into the winter. Like they're like, can you do anything earlier? And I'm like, I can't, man. Like I absolutely can't.
Same.
And I'm sorry, but if you want to go and try to get on a wait list for 2 years, I promise you December's way closer than that.
Yeah, we've already had a lot of that. Like I had guys stop in today and ask me about, when's the earliest you can do beef? I said, well, I'm not planning on starting to do any, livestock until after the first of the year. Because our deer season we have like a week gap in December, and then the last week of December is deer season again.
Right.
So I was like, I'm not gonna even start because I still got some equipment that I'm waiting for it to come in, and I got some stuff I got to order yet, and just get stuff situated. So
yeah, I mean, I've played that game too much already, where it's like, you know what, I can squeeze it. You know, I can do it. It's fine.
Yep.
Like I'm gonna, because it always ends up biting you in the ass at the end. Every single time I've done that.
Every time.
Every single time.
Every time.
It's not even like an awful thing. Like it's not even like something terrible happens. It's just annoying. Like it's something just goes awry and it's a pain in the ass. So I'm pretty cutthroat with it at this point where it's just like, nope, sorry. Like this is it. Like if you want it done, you get it done this date. And I apologize, but you kind of need me. Like I need you. I need you as a customer for sure. But you need me far more than I need you at this very moment.
Yeah, I get backed into a corner on emergency appointments a lot though, because like legally I'm the only one who can do them. And I feel really terrible. Like I had a guy call me, I think it was when I was doing TikTok live one day, that had that 2 bison that somebody shot. And I think I assumed that the second bison was just a missed bullet that hit it, is what it sounded like. And they shot one and they took the head off of it. Someone literally it's so screwed up. I mean, it's almost as screwed up as the cowboy, the OSU cowboy thing. Did you see that? The Longhorn that was so in Stillwater here. I guess today was the Big 12 championship, but I don't think it was related to football. I think it was some fraternity feud at Stillwater at Oklahoma State. Somebody had strung up a Longhorn cow. Yeah, to a pillar. They ratchet strapped. Obviously, they had the straps around the horns and probably just drove off, with a trailer. Yeah, it was in the front lawn of this fraternity.
Obviously dead, right? Or was it
obviously
alive?
Obviously dead. And there was one cut in the stomach, and then they had branded it FUFH, which is the fraternity FH farmhouse.
That's insane.
Yeah, so that was pretty crazy.
That's like
3-foot horns at least, dude. At least
I'd be stringing people up at that point. Like if that was my animal, and I found who did it, we're going Wild West rules, where it's like you still get hung for that shit. Like
I hope that they paid for it. That's all I can say. I hope that they paid for the animal. and didn't steal it, but you just know that like
that was that nobody who takes the time to raise an animal, especially a longhorn,
3 feet at least, dude. It was
if you don't
gorgeous.
raise an animal to that point and go, hey, this will be funny, and we'll get back on this guy. No, that's like, hey, we're gonna go. I pass by this guy's farm every time I go to pick up weed at this guy's house, so I know where they are. Let's just go grab one of those.
Yeah,
and do that. That's that mentality.
Well, it's also fraternity boys, you know, who have a lot of money. So it's possible that they could have like found one and bought it. Like I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Because if they did steal it, that's a felony. Dumping it is still against the law as well. Like they're looking for them, but I don't think they have any evidence. But there's a lot of, a lot of talk about what exactly happened. Like some people are saying it was an OU fraternity that had beef with them, but there's another fraternity at OSU that has beef with them. And I thought it was weird that it was a Longhorn.
There's a guy in New Hampshire who has beef with them now too.
Right, no kidding. And I did, but at the same time, the Big 12 championship being between OSU Cowboys and Texas Longhorns, I'm like, it was specifically a Longhorn for a reason, right? Like they could have chosen anything a lot cheaper than that if they bought it. So because I mean he was beautiful, he was white and he had some tan spotting at least, and it was like the perfect like flat and then up just I would say at least 3.5 feet. It was stunning. So it was,
but you know better than I do because you have more of them down there. What's an animal like that run? Like if you were to go buy that animal live, like right there.
A couple 3,000 probably.
Yeah,
I mean,
we have a couple Longhorn places around here. It'd probably be 3,000-4,000.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just that head is worth.
Well, that's the other part of it.
Some money.
Like, I know we've talked about it on the show before, where it's like if you bring an Angus in, it's like you're getting like if you're getting everything you can out of that animal, you're really pretty much getting the meat off of it. And then like if you tan the hide, but that's a whole nother thing. Like if you're a big place, you can sell it to a tannery. But again, that's one in 10 of people who actually get to do that. And but with a Longhorn, you're gonna get the meat out of it. Honestly, out of a Longhorn, sometimes the meat is like the least, the bottom of the list.
It is because I don't like Longhorn meat.
It's too lean. It's very, very, very lean. And again, I know there's all the stories of it's like, oh, I cut up this one that was 20 years old and had an inch of fat on it. This, that, and the other. I was like,
the
thing was 20 years old.
Like,
it took it 20 years to get all that fat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's when you take the Longhorn, you're getting the skull, you're getting the hide. You could get the whole thing. Like, I think Longhorns are the only cow I've ever seen like full on taxidermied. Because
but you could get a Watusi and actually like the meat.
Right.
And it's a similar horn. It's a similar horn. They're shaped a little bit differently. I would argue they're actually a little cooler. But like Longhorn meat is crap, dude. Get a Watusi.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, I don't know if Watusi's forage is good as the Longhorns. Like to me,
I think I've done some research. I think they do.
Yeah, to me, like the biggest reason I would raise a Longhorn is just because they'll eat the trashiest.
Yeah,
like,
they eat everything.
The trashiest stuff. Yeah. So to me, that's the thing. I would honestly make almost the whole thing into burger.
Yeah.
And then I would add pork fat.
Right.
No joke.
It needs fat. It needs something to it.
I mean, a lot of people like Longhorn. They love Longhorn meat. Like that's their thing. And I'm not here to like diss your taste if that's what you like. But
no, I think I agree with you.
That.
The Watusis are way cooler too. Like they just.
I've heard the similar, about Highlanders too, because we get a lot of them around here. Everybody loves those things. But like, they got the big horns. You can get the European mount and sell it. The hides, they're depending on if they're colorful or not, just having that longer hair. Right. People like that, But I've heard that they're a little bit leaner because they have the longer hair. They don't need as much fat on them to.
I would eat a Highland before I ate a Longhorn, for sure.
I'd agree with that. I would agree with that.
But
I can't decide if. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I would say I can't decide if people really should be raising Highlands down here.
I was just about to,
because of the heat. I can't decide if the extra fur for them is it like Great Pyrenees dogs? Is it like keep them cool in the summer as well, or does it make them hotter?
I'm not sure. I mean, that'd be something you'd have. Yeah,
I
one
mean,
of us
I
is going to
know-
have
I
to
know
ask
up
the
here
Highland
they're
breeder
great.
that knows better.
Yeah, I know up here they're fantastic. Like,
Yeah.
they're just
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
they
they
do
grow-
well
they
around
grow
here with
well.
our humidity.
right.
I mean, we get like same thing with you, Kyle. We get super humid in the summer.
oh yeah.
I mean, with the humid and 80 and 90 degrees isn't super hot compared to like what you guys get down in Oklahoma, but we get that high humidity too with the heat.
Well, we do
and they
too.
seem to do okay. So
well,
Yeah.
and the other thing about Highlands is they're assholes. Like,
So true.
they are so mean.
So true.
Like, when I see like videos of people like walking up to their Highland bull and hugging it and rubbing, I'm like, you're a wizard. Like, what are you doing? Like, that is a murder machine. Like,
Yeah.
when we go to fairs and stuff like that, I'm usually pretty low key, like with the kids. I was like, yeah, go up and touch the cow. I don't care.
yeah.
If there's a Highland in there, even if they're halter, like carrying that thing around on a halter, I'm like, nope, you stay right here and wait till that thing walks by.
Everyone that I've been around has been fucking nuts.
I've seen
Hey.
them jump 6 feet in the air, like 6 feet in the air, do 180 and like shaking their head the entire time trying to kill you.
Danae wants something fierce, and I keep telling her no. I said, that's one thing I do not want.
Danae, no.
No.
Baby girl, you don't want it. They're stupid and they're crazy. They're so dumb. Get you a little Dex. If you want something mini, get a little Dexter. That's
We
my
had Dexters.
recommendation. Yeah, I would do that. I mean, I feel like Highland cows, like Longhorn cattle, like Mangalitsa pigs, I would never have because of their
Well,
their
so
attitude.
Put a pin in that because I'm going to come at that
I just realized that
I
Kyle
just-
spelled the title wrong.
In the
in the
description.
description, but right in the thumbnail. I haven't checked that, but you're probably right. I'm not going to fight you on it. I'm just going to go off face value and say yes. 'Cause
Probably.
I know the guy who did all the writing.
Oh shit. Sorry. Trying to adjust here.
Mangas I am figuring out.
Yes.
Because my buddy's boar, he's a little rough sometimes, but he's a decent pig. Like, he's not like, he can go up to him and like give him love and stuff like that. But me getting in there is dicey. But I look at my boar that I have the skull for now, who's going to be the new logo of my shop and content stuff. I'm very excited about. But he was 400 pounds of what looked like pure murder. Like, he was a big, scary looking pig. And you could walk up with 2 fingers and rub him behind the ear, and he was on the ground like nobody's business. And he was half manga. The piglets I have now are quarter manga. You can't see your boots when you're in there because all they're doing is loving on you and rubbing on you. It's like, okay, I get the manga part where it's like, I have seen some mean ones where it's like, I don't like you and I don't want to get in there with you.
Yeah, one of my sows is going when the feeders start going through the shop. So she's just ornery.
Yeah. I think
she didn't breed back this time, so I'm like, yep, see you later.
Again, it's animal specific. But
yeah. Everyone I've butchered,
yeah.
Everyone I've butchered for, they can't keep them fenced.
Yeah.
I haven't had that problem. Mine are all in. Kyle has nightmares about my fencing, but I have 2 strands around 90% of my pig pasture of just regular. I think it's 14 gauge. It's not 12 gauge wire that I run. And even with the fence being off, I left it off all last winter and they never bothered once they were trained to it. But I have an energizer that the first time I hooked that energizer up and one of those 2 sows walked up and bit the wire, she laid flat on her belly. Because it hit her so hard. So they don't test it much. No. But they're only half blood too. They've got Berkshire, and I think they said a little bit of old spot in them, so they're not as crazy as a full Mangalitsa, but the one sow, she does get a little ornery. But my other pigs, my 2 blue butts and that Duroc and Berkshire boar, those things are like dogs. They literally wait at the fence and sit down and wait for you to scratch them and wait for their food and stuff. So,
I don't want mine that friendly.
Oh, I love them that
it makes it harder to shoot them, man.
Nah,
It doesn't for me, just because it's from the day I get them to the time that if I know they're going for food, like my feeders aren't that friendly.
Yeah,
like they're not that friendly. They're comfortable
Friendly
being
enough.
around. But like my breeders, I like being that friendly, because the two sows, the Mangalitsa crosses, they're horrible with the piglets. Like I still got to catch this other litter out of there and get rid of them. And I'm not looking forward to it because they are so protective of their litters. I got to build some kind of trap system that I can get behind the cattle panels and catch piglets. Like the only way I can do it without getting attacked by the moms. So
your wife disagrees. A little ornery.
She's a little ornery. She doesn't. The animals don't enjoy her for some reason. She gets bit and attacked by them.
I just want you to know we still don't have piglets here.
I don't understand how.
I don't know.
Huh.
I think she had a fake pregnancy.
And I'm starting to consider
she went through all the stages.
I've heard of that happening before.
Yeah, she was nesting. She did all the things. She got real big real quick. And that's it. And then she's still getting bigger. But
that's the hard part. You didn't know when she got bred either. So you're
no. But then at the same time, you're like, okay, well, is she even bred or am I crazy?
You're not crazy. She's huge.
She's huge, right? So I don't know. I feel so bad because I've just had her separated out for so long now. Just expecting babies, and every day I go out there and check twice a day, and then every day looks the same. So
yeah, I definitely want to switch that about my operation. I'd really like to have it so the boar's only in there for a certain amount of time, instead of, I did same thing with you, because I have limited space and limited, setup to separate the boar. So right now I'm rotating in between my two pens of sows. He's in with the ones that are supposed to be bred for January, but come the end of the month, I plan on moving him back over with the other one.
Yeah.
And I really don't want her bred back yet, but I'm limited on options.
Yeah.
And I haven't had a chance to build any kind of pig barn or shelters or anything. So I'm like, shit, what am I going to do? I've got 2 sows due in January and it's supposed to get crap. So
you can slap something together so easy for pigs.
I've got I bought enough lumber to build like a 14 by 14 floor. And I have like 12-foot old cooler panels that were given to me years ago. I thought about maybe building walls out of that. So pre-insulated, that helped with the piglets too in the winter. So I might do something like that. I'm not sure yet. But just getting the time, I mean, the shop's taken up.
Dude,
I think that first week of deer season, I can't remember the hours I had.
Time? What's that?
Yeah.
I literally didn't sleep Monday night at all.
Friday night, the Friday before deer season opened on Saturday, the 18th. So the 17th, I got up and I went out to the shop at like 7 a.m. and I was just getting stuff around working. I was going to call it quits at 11:30 at night. And I screwed with my freezer. My walk-in freezer kept going down on me. I got it running for like 6 hours straight. 11:30, I was like, yep, I'm going to call it good for the night. As soon as I went to walk out of the shop, I heard it shut down. I'm listening. I'm like, that ain't right. I was out till I was out there till 4 o'clock in the morning fucking with it. Got it running, came home, slept for an hour, got back up, went over at like 6:30, and then I opened the shop at 8 a.m. to start taking in deer. And then the freezer went down again on me. Luckily, I have a good friend that's retired from refrigeration.
Right.
So I called him. He came over. We put new dryer, brand new gas in it. It didn't cost me anything money-wise. I just got to help him do some he wants to kill a steer. So it was awesome because I know the gas is not cheap, especially to fill a whole unit back up.
Right.
For that. And being an older unit, we had to change out the gas to a different style. Mm-hmm. So super grateful for that. That saved my butt big time because I need the freezer this time of year, especially because temperatures are still up and down.
Right.
To hold it until because a lot of the guys that I've been getting this year, I've had some of my previous customers, but I've had a lot of new customers, especially from the city, because they said deer processors have been closing down like crazy around here. So I've gotten a lot of the guys from the camps down here and usually take it back up to like Buffalo area with them. They don't have any processors up there. So I've been getting a lot of theirs. And then I think earlier Rachel asked how many deer I was up to. I think I'm at like 65, 66,
Nice.
somewhere right there. And that's like just over about 2 weeks worth of deer season so far. So
Blew me out of the water.
yeah,
It sounds like you're getting broken in properly. Everything is.
Oh no,
great.
yeah. You're
Well.
going along the right path. Like
Right.
this is all
the
normal.
correct way.
Yeah.
This
is the exact right way to do things.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
It feels like you're drowning, but you're doing it right.
Yeah, next year, I got a plan for next year, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
But
well, that's the biggest thing about all of this is, again, it's you don't know what the wrong way is unless you've done the wrong way. Like, unless the wrong way has happened to you, you don't really know it, or someone tells you that that's the wrong way. But even if someone tells you that's the wrong way, is it? I don't know. They just might have done it wrong. And
as long as you're making it work,
screw it up.
That's the way I figure.
The
I'm making it
basis of
work
my
right
whole
now.
business.
But that's it. We're just the fact we're butchers. We already are those people that it's like, do I really need to listen to you? No, I don't. Like, I shoot animals in the face for a living. I don't need to listen to you. Oh, right. No, you were absolutely right. I should have listened to you. Like, it's life.
I think next year I'll be able to, like, our prices are a touch higher than other people like around us locally, but like in New York State regionally, we're actually on the low side. Like my little area, everybody's around $100. We're at like $125, but we're charging tax too because it's a legit business. It's not our backyard garage deer processor that's using whatever, so we gotta charge the tax and all that to them. So it's throwing a little bit of people off, but I think next year when we start offering sausage and all that, because we don't have any of that stuff for it right now, I think I'll probably more than double what I'm doing this year. Yeah, easily.
Well, you're way cheaper than I am. Like up here, I'm $100 minimum. Yeah. Like your deer has to, like, if it's 70 pounds, guess what? You just got bumped up. Your deer's 100 pounds. And then the a la carte stuff comes on top of it. Like, because that's how I have to do it. And I've had people be like, I'm not paying that. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's and then we've had. I think I lost a lot of customers this year. Like, oh, your price is a little steep. I'm like, yeah, well, you're not going to get the same quality product when you go to somebody that's paper wrapping it and cutting it up on a piece of plywood that's soaked in blood from everybody else's deer all season.
Well, that's all I do. I open one of the freezers and I pull out a perfectly cleaned thing of back straps, cryovac with a professional label, and they go, oh,
yeah. The customers that have got their product from us, we've had a lot of return customers. Super happy. They're like, this best product that we've got so far. And like I said, I think if I was offering sausage and ground with beef, ground with pork, I would have picked up quite a few because I lost a couple people I know just from not having the extra options. And that's a lot more money I could have made per deer right there too.
Oh, for sure.
Having those add-ons. It's just we didn't have no time to get anything. We didn't have power, so it's not like I could call around and get beef fat or pork fat to stock up for the freezer. And
exactly. No, that's tough.
Yeah,
return customers are the best. I love my return customers. Yeah, they're almost family. I have the guy who's coming tomorrow. I've known forever. Yeah, he's brought a deer to me almost every year, and he's like, I have his uncle's deer in there right now, but he actually needs to pick up. I actually need to do the receipt. All right, good. Figuring all that out on the show. But he calls me, and I already knew he was having a hard time. Like, he was having a tough time getting one. And I was like, did you get it? And he goes, I finally did. And we're talking logistics. And I'm like, it's probably easier if you come tomorrow. He goes, all right, cool. And he goes, Red Bull and Marb Lights? And I go, Mark, that's why I love you. He always shows up with Red Bull and Marb Lights. And I'm like, That's why I love you, buddy.
We're so easy to please. But Joe, you don't want to have the cheapest prices. You don't you don't want the customers that are looking for the cheapest prices. You know what I mean? Like,
they're the ones that always tend to complain too.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm on the cheaper side, and I feel like I had to be when I started because it was a new concept and because I'm like a woman, But I'm slowly getting up there. Like, I feel like I should be to the point where I'm more expensive at this.
Well, if you're already thinking you should be more expensive, you should raise your price. Like,
yeah, I will on the first of the year.
I would have been charging more anyway, just dealing with hot carcasses.
Yeah.
that shit.
Oh, well, I know, but again, new concept. I have to fight the old
It's not a
adage.
new concept. It's a very old concept.
It is.
And
Okay,
it
it
still
is.
sucks. That's why we
It
came up
is,
with
but
refrigeration.
people are so hung up on hanging.
Yeah. Dry
The
ages. Yeah.
the wet aging is like, I have, it is something they have to handle. There's some like education there. I have to kind of walk them through it, which
Yep.
it's not that complicated. Just leave it in your freaking fridge.
But even on that, you should be charging more for having to explain all of this. Like,
I agree. I'm getting there. I think it's, first of the year, all the shops here always go up. Like every shop goes up a nickel on their hang price, almost at least a nickel, what, I don't know. My kill fee is still 100 on beef. I probably should raise that. My mileage is not too bad. How long do you hang? Yeah. Wow. Oh boy, that's the question, isn't it?
That's the question on everyone's mind.
I know. How do y'all handle gut-shotted deer and all? Do y'all just not accept them?
I don't take any rib meat out. I don't go through, like, I'll take the outside of the rib if it's enough. Like if it's not enough meat and mostly fat, I'm probably
talking about for deer processing.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing mine, I will take the rib meat out if it's clean. If they did a good job gutting it, it's clean on the inside, and like you said, it's not a lot of fat. If it's a lot of fat, it's a waste of your time.
It's not worth it. You're going to end up with a quarter pound of meat for 10 minutes worth of work going through every single rib. And that's why at this point I've basically put it, it's like, listen, I'm not going to do this because more than half of you don't know how to gut a deer in the first place. Yeah. And if it's gut shot, there's nothing, like, it's not your fault, but you also didn't rinse it out enough.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to contaminate the whole grind for a quarter pound extra of meat.
Yeah.
And most of my customers are fine with it. And if they're not, you can take it somewhere else if you'd like. I don't know what to, like, I'm not going to slow myself down and taint all of your meat.
Yeah. I had a couple people comment. They're like, cause while I'm working during the day, especially when I'm over there by myself, like Danae's not there taking deer in, and I got to stop what I'm doing to go. Like, that's what I found out, like, opening weekend, I got slammed and I was trying to skin, cut, and take deer in on our legit paperwork. It's not like when I did it in my freaking carport where I said, yeah, throw your deer in the trailer, text me what you want, and I'll let you know when it's done. You know, it's not like that anymore. We got, legit paperwork. Danae's got a whole computer system. She's putting them in for a customer database, and it's all legit stuff. So it just takes a little bit longer, and then you got to explain it. A lot of these guys never, like you had said before, well, we never had to fill out a cut sheet before. We just tell them what we want. Well, that's not what I'm doing.
That's not what I'm doing. I'm a
butcher. Like, I want to know exactly what you want out of your stuff, because I can't remember what you want. You tell me. I can't. You're like fucking number 68 deer for the season. You think I'm going to remember exactly what you told me? No, I want to know how many per package and how many pounds per package and the whole 9 yards.
I made entire videos walking people through cut sheets.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And then I just video.
I plan on doing that too, just so we have that reference point. Like, we can put it on our Facebook page for the butcher shop and say, if you have questions about cut sheets, you can reference these videos on our YouTube channel and stuff like that. You're always going to get questions no matter how hard you try to not get questions about it. But if I can help some of the customers that they can watch a video and learn from it, then I think I'm doing pretty good. If I can negate, 1 out of every 10 customers, that's still a little bit better for me, especially in the early stages of figuring stuff out. That was our big thing is, we took in, I can't remember 58 deer that first week. And we were trying to figure out routine, labeling bags, figuring out stuff that we didn't have in the shop that we still needed because we had literally just finished the building. For the most part, we're still constructing stuff. Just figuring out all the ins and outs, figuring out a routine, because I'm using a skid steer for skinning right now in the reefer trailer till we get our walk-ins. So it's, there's a lot of extra steps to even within just that. trying to figure out the best stuff. So like next year, instead of skinning and cutting right away, I'm going to go right to, as soon as they start coming in, I'm going to skin them and get them in the cooler. And then as soon as I get like a break from deer coming in, I'll start cutting. Because I got it down. I timed myself the other day because we're figuring out, our price points and stuff on where we can pick up to make money already. We're trying to figure that out. I skinned out a medium-sized doe in about 20 minutes and 20 seconds or something like that. And I had that same deer cut and packaged in just under an hour and 15 minutes.
Nice.
Grinding off.
That's perfect.
So just shy of 2 hours. I figured 2 hours would be comfortable on an average per deer is what I figured I'd be at. So then that's averaging the capes and stuff. A cape took me about 35 minutes.
Well, I upped my caping fee because I was like, it takes me too long. Like,
and you're trying to put out a good product because you don't want the taxidermist fixing a bunch of fuck ups. And they're going to pay you a little extra. Okay, that's the way I look at it. Is I'm trying to put out the best product for my customers for the price they're paying.
Yeah.
So
bears suck to cape.
I haven't done a bear yet. I've had a few people ask if I would. I'm like,
cape. They're not awful, but it's like, because the hide is so, it's not thin, but it just punctures so easy. So it's like, and you're really pull cut. Yeah. Like, especially if it's cold, forget about it. Like, it is such a pain in the butt. And it's
good to know.
I don't like, basically I'll get to like the chest, the sternum, and just peel from there. So like there is no other incisions in that hide after right here.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, I think
pulling the
when I get my first bear and finally there's a local taxidermist, I'm going to see if he can come down and show me exactly what he wants when, someone else skins it.
That's
because
smart.
If he can teach me exactly the way a taxidermist wants it, then I can put out that product in the future for them.
With my return customers, I usually ask like, hey, how did your taxidermist like that? And he's like, amazing, perfect. And it's like, cool. And it's my rule of thumb on it is I'd rather leave a little more fat.
Yeah.
Or if there's like a couple chunks of meat that get stuck to it while I'm doing it, I would rather leave that on the hide.
Yeah. When I first started doing capes, I asked him about that. And he goes, I'd rather have he's like, yeah, it's a little bit more work for me, but it's less work than repairing the hole that you cut into it. So,
yeah. Well, kids, we're coming up on the hour. Where can everyone find you? Tiff, we'll start with you.
Everywhere. TikTok.
Everywhere.
Instagram. Backyard Butchery with a Y at the end, not an S, not to be confused. Yeah.
Fun stuff. Joe?
Well, nowhere right now.
Nowhere. Well, go ahead.
What's your business? No, I'm actually just filmed a video this morning. I'm going to start editing like just a quick update video on the butcher shop, kind of talking about what I've been up to last month. But yeah, at Blakeslee Acres on Facebook and YouTube. So hopefully I'll be getting more content back out now that I've kind of evened out and I'm not like balls to the wall from 6 a.m. until midnight every day. But
yeah, right. You've just been slacking.
Yeah, I have. I have been sick the last couple days. I've been down and out like.
Oh, I'm sure, dude.
Through going over to the shop until like I haven't been going over to like 9:30.
Yeah.
Instead of my normal 7:30ish.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, and everyone can find me at the usual places. If you're watching on here, please like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And then everywhere else, I am at Backwoods Butcher 603. So that is TikTok and Instagram. I keep saying I'm going to keep trying to do better at Instagram, and it does not happen. So we will see where that goes. But if you like dark humor and funny TikToks, head on over to my TikTok page as well. So, guys, I appreciate you coming on, and we will see you guys next time.